So recently you might have seen on my website that I posted some paintings that I created with this robot, and I wanted to show you how I did it. Let me just grab some examples. So I posted this guy, this one, and this was one of them as well. So I thought you'd be interested in actually seeing Mozzie the robot create it. Or the underpainting I did by hand. I still haven't programmed this part yet. It is done by a little bit of watercolor. And for this one, I have just been starting to use oil pastel. So I quickly created this background, and that's the starting point. The entire software was programmed in Python, basically using loops and if statements. So on my monitor, you'll see a series of little icons. And these are all different paintings that were randomly created with the Python code. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. So there's a purple one that was created. Got a green one, yellow one. And I can just cycle through on all these random little paintings that were created and pick one that goes with this background. I've mixed my colors. And I have the water ready to go. And I've updated the software to grab the right painting. So all I have to do is run the code. Excel spreadsheet. So I'm just going to double click on this guy, and I just have to reset him. And I don't know if you can see that from here. I know it's going to start with color number 2. So I line up the paint, and now you're painting. And I'll switch the cameras once it starts cleaning the brush. And here it goes into the clean cycle. So I just want to make sure the water's set up right. Alright, now this is a go, so I'm just going to move the camera and so you can see better. So you just watched it paint. I'm not really happy with how that worked out because the dark blue that you saw being painted, it ended up doing 60 paintbrush strokes without washing the paint. And I've noticed in general if it starts going up to 60, then it's too thick. So almost every 30 brush strokes you need to wash the brush out, let it dry. Otherwise you just get a very thick buildup. But I missed that in the code because I was distracted filming. But it made the painting a little more interesting because then when it did go to the lighter color, it started mixing the blues that weren't dried yet because it was such a thick color. So currently, if you notice on my screen, you'll see some code running. It is actually running a routine, and I decided I wanted some thin lines going up this way. So I quickly drew a shape, and now it's running a routine to create the brush strokes to go in that area. So I'm going to swap brushes while this is running and figure out what color I want to go with this. I still haven't decided. I'm leaning towards a warmer color to go with these cold colors I just added, but I haven't decided yet. I've noticed that white is a fantastic color to add with these dots. It just adds a little bit of texture, and then if it goes off the page, it's not too much. Let's swap brushes while this is running and hopefully see what happens. And I think the more I talk, I will just add white to this lightest color and go from there. You saw me running around looking for my brush. I didn't end up finding it, so I'm using a different brush wrap some masking tape around it so Mozzie can hold it properly. I'm going to turn Mozzie on. I've created a new set of instructions to use the smaller brush. You'll see me doing a lot of adjustments because I haven't set this brush up before. I'm going to close the other two colors, so we're just dealing with that white that I just mixed. And you'll see me adjusting the height a little bit, but let's see if I can get this working. So I have this code that runs that just does a check to make sure that everything's, basically the robot's not going to crash, which is always a nice check when you only have one robot and you really don't want to let it crash. Run the check code. And I'm really glad I did that because everything went off the page. Wow. That's a little bit shocking. How do I do this now? I've got to run this code again. That didn't work at all. I haven't seen that happen since maybe 2 months ago, where I ran the check and every single paintbrush went off the page. So I will be right back. 1 second. Alright, so I just reran the code and I got a set of brush strokes that now looks like it's not going to go off the page. So I'm going to hit go. I might stop it in the middle because it looks like an awful lot of brush strokes. And I don't remember what polka dot pattern it's going to do, but that's part of the excitement. Alright, that's it. So I'm just going to move the camera over so you can see exactly how it turned out with the speckling on it. So at the very end there, I ran out of space on the card, so I'm going to quickly finish so at least it finishes on here for today. So I just took off the painting and I'm flipping it around so you can see it. So this is what it created at the very end. It did the speckling. And that's how I created all those pieces on my website. Below are links on where to find all these pieces, and please, if you have any questions or if you want to know more information of how I program this, let me know and I will post more videos about this. But I see I'm running out of time again, so thanks for watching.